we're out here in the western tip of Morris County in Washington Township. We understand that, the area between Morristown Municipal Airport and the Bedminster Golf Course are going to get an awful lot more traffic with the president coming in January. And we understand that there might be some additional surveillance or something like that. But the amount of drones that we're getting, my police chief is telling me we could get 24 phone calls a night of people in Washington Township that are just seeing 6, 8, 10 drones flying above their house. And like you said, what are they doing? I mean, we all see what drones are capable of doing in a war scenario. Is that what they're setting up for? Or are they doing surveillance? And if they are, what are they looking at? It's certainly capable for them to do radar, LiDAR. They could be doing night vision. They could be getting video of us. We're really not sure. And it really is difficult to be mutually exclusive that we are told over and over by the governor there's no safety issue, but we don't know who's driving them. We don't know where they're going, and we can't find out where they're taking off and landing from. It's a very difficult situation for us to try to understand.
Well, guys, I'm sure some of you all have seen the news by now. New Jersey Congressman Jeff Van Drew has come out claiming that he has sources high up and in the know that say that these drones that are flying over New Jersey are coming from a mothership. He claims Iran is behind this. He claims that an Iranian freaking drone mothership is right off the coast of the U.S. launching these drones over our cities and spying on our military bases and what have you. Now, a lot of you all watching this video already know my stance on these drones. But for those of you all who don't, I don't believe the U.S. military is behind this, and at least I don't yet. But I think it's a possibility. But my stance has always been that I think this is one of our enemies. My stance is that I think, Russia or China must be behind this. But with that being said, nothing makes me think that the U.S. government is behind this more than this news about the Iranian mothership. I'm sorry. That's the way my mind is set up. Like I've been sitting here telling you all over a dozen videos that I think, this has to be one of our enemies behind this. This is a foreign military. But now that we have congressmen coming out saying, it's the foreign military, it's Iran, now I'm like, hey, wait, let's pump the brakes. Let's pump the brakes on this one. Because I know there's a lot of warmongers in Washington, D.C. that are itching for a reason to go to war with Iran. So what I don't want is for them to blame a foreign government for this, just to use this as an excuse to go to war, or as an excuse to start dropping bombs somewhere, on the other side of the planet. So I do want to be careful here with any information that we get. And I'm someone who's been telling you all from day one that I think this is an enemy military. But I'm also not going to just hop right in like, it's Iran. The mothership is out there. Let's go to war, fellas. Because I think that's kind of the response that they want. And it's a natural response. Because, even thinking about it, it makes my blood boil. What do you mean Iran is flying drones over New Jersey? What the hell is wrong with them? We need to handle this. You know what I mean? But I think maybe that's the response that they want. So all I'm saying is you can believe what you want. I'm not saying that this is not the case, but I don't know. I feel kind of iffy about this, but let's go ahead and roll this clip. Let's listen to what this guy has to say. Then I'll be right back with more thoughts.
Focus now. Republican Congressman Jeff Van Drew of New Jersey, member of the House Judiciary Committee on the Hill right now. How do you address this at this point?
Well, here's the real deal, Harris. I'm also on the Transportation Committee, on the Aviation Subcommittee, and I've gotten to know people. And from very high sources very qualified sources, very responsible sources, I'm going to tell you the real deal. Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones. That mothership is off, I'm going to tell you the deal. It's off the east coast of the United States of America. They've launched drones, is everything that we can see or hear. And again, these are from high sources. I don't say this lightly. Now, we know there was a probability it could have been our own government. We know it's not our own government because they would have let us know. It could have been some really glorified hobbyists that were doing something unbelievable. They don't have the technology. But let's pretend that's possible. The third possibility was somebody, an adversarial country, doing this. Know that Iran made a deal with China to purchase drones, motherships, and technology in order to go forward. The sources I have are good. They can't reveal who they are because they are speaking to me in confidentiality. These drones should be shot down. Whether it was some crazy hobbyist that we can't imagine, or whether it is Iran, and I think it very possibly could be, they should be shot down. We are not getting the full deal, and the military is on alert with this.
Look, you've given us some pretty dire information just here, and I want to make sure that our viewers are digesting this. Iran has the capability to pull up along our eastern seaboard and launch drones the size of an SUV into the skies of several states, particularly New Jersey, where we know the incoming president has a large home, also in the same county or nearby where some of these drones in New Jersey have been seen. That capability exists. It's possible some of those drones are here. So I have two questions. How are they fueling them? They have to land somewhere. Drones don't fly forever. Why don't they close down the airspace? Yes, it's inconvenient. Yes, it's the holidays. Shut it down. But if you start shooting things and you don't know how they're fueled, that's going to be mass explosions. This isn't like one spy balloon. Congressman, this is serious.
We've got to bring them down, and we've got to find a way to bring them down. I don't know exactly where they're landing. Obviously, I have some information. And again, this isn't just Jeff Van Drew. Oh, let's get on Harris Faulkner's show and say something outrageous. I'm telling you the straight deal from very high positioned individuals who are telling me this. And the bottom line is they're launching them. They are across the country. We don't even have anything like this. No. Our government, and also certainly our hobbyists, don't. So think about it. Not only do I have the information, but it's also common sense. We've got to get them down. We've got to determine how they function, what they do, make sure that we can get them, and you're right, in a safe way. When I say shoot them down, get them down any way that you can, but right now they're probably extracting information. This is a clear and present danger to the United States and to our president-elect, and it's a serious business.
Well, and if one of them happens to fall and they're fueled, that explosion could kill people.
Look, I laid this out over on my X account earlier. Go follow me over there if you haven't already. But I'm going to lay it out here as well. In my honest opinion, I've been keeping a sort of a close eye on, all of the military conflicts going on in the world. Definitely, I've been looking at what's going on in the Middle East. We've reported on that a lot when the conflict initially started. And, months going into the conflict. But in my opinion, from my observations, it seems like Iran has its hands tied already in the Middle East. It seems like they already have their fair share of stuff going on. And it seems like Iran is having a hard enough time dealing with Israel and dealing with all of these other, little conflicts that are raging over there. So in my opinion, I'm not sure if, having all of that going on, if Iran is even capable of having a mothership launching drones right off the coast of the U.S. But if this is Iran, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, let's believe the rumor or the report from this congressman. Let's say it's true. Iran can't be doing this by themselves. If it's true, there's two different options here, at least as far as I see it. If Iran does have this mothership out there, they didn't do this by themselves. They had to have the direct help of another world superpower. Russia or China, most likely China. We already know that, Iran and China have been exchanging, drone information, drone technology, all types of money and what have you. We already know they got that going on. So in my opinion, if this is Iran, it's not like they're operating alone. They're operating as part of an alliance. And I would still say, hey, China's probably really the main ones behind it. But maybe they want to stamp, hey, here's an Iranian face. So it doesn't really come back to China. You know what I mean? So if this is Iran, I don't think it's just Iran. And if anything, I think Iran's kind of, I don't know exactly how to put it, but let's just say the fall guy for the situation. Or, let's just say Iran doesn't have help from China or Russia or anyone else, then they must have help from the inside. And you don't want to think of things that way, but if an Iranian freaking mothership, whatever that is just chilling off the coast of the U.S. with nothing being done about it, and you would think, and that we have the technology to stop this, we have the technology to know that this stuff is going on, right? So if an Iranian mothership is just allowed to do this and spy on our cities with drones, then we must have some type of traitors within our government that are kind of allowing this to happen, or kind of turning a blind eye, or trying to convince other people within the government that this isn't a big deal. So either way, Iran has help. And the question is, and this is just if Iran really is involved. We don't know that for sure. That's what the claim is right now. I don't necessarily, I'm not buying into it yet, just because I know that they're itching for war with Iran. And I think they're going to try to use this as an excuse for that. But if this is Iran, they have help, either from one of our enemies on the outside, or from one of our real enemies right here on the inside. But you let me know which one you think it is down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.